Miss Holmes here, ready to give you a little bit more information about how you can cite within your essay. You have done research, so now it is time to learn what to do with the research, how to incorporate it into your essay successfully so that you don't plagiarize. Now, before we get started with this information, you need to make sure you have already read through the Avoiding Plagiarism PowerPoint. That was from last week, but some of the information in here might be a little bit confusing unless you have gathered that information already. So let's just go ahead and begin. Now, when it comes to citing within your essay, there are 3 things that you must have no matter what. If you do not have these 3 things, you are doing it wrong, incorrect. So what are these 3 things? The first one is a signal phrase. Now, you might know this as a tag. We learned that at the very beginning of the semester. So go back and remember, a tag. Your quotes cannot stand alone. So when it comes to citing within your essay, we need this tag. Oftentimes, this tag, this signal phrase, looks something like according to, letting us know that, hey, I'm about to introduce information. So according to. Now that leads us to the next piece that you have to have anytime you are citing a source. We need to know the source. We have to know where this information came from. This is the most important part. This is giving credit where credit is due. So according to, give us credit. If you know the author, tell us the author. If you know the title, tell us the title. If you know both, give us both. Just make sure when it comes to your title, you are correctly denoting it. And probably you'll need to have quotation marks around that title. So we have our first 2 pieces, a signal phrase, according to, and then your resource. Title, author. Now, after you have given us this signal phrase, after you have introduced your resource, well, now it's time to get to the very last thing you need, your quote. So you're going to open quote, provide said quote, and then, well, remembering our rules, you're going to put your punctuation inside and then close your quote. As simple as that. So you are going to quote however many words directly from your resource after you have told us your resource, which is attached to a signal phrase. It's that easy. Now, of course, your signal phrase, you can get fun, exciting, interesting with it. According to, it's just a very easy, simple way to start. Now, you might be asking yourself, but what about summarizing or paraphrasing? The formula is the exact same. But instead of quoting, you might summarize here, or you might paraphrase here. If you summarize or paraphrase, you are no longer directly quoting. So just get rid of the quotation marks. As easy as that. Now, this is one way. This is a very common way. This way ensures that you are going to do it correct and you will be giving credit where credit is due. But this might mess up your flow. If you write like me, saying according to could impede the flow of your writing, impede your writing style altogether. So there's a second way in which you can, well, give credit where credit is due. But you still have to have all 3 of these pieces in order for it to be successful. So, well, a signal phrase. Now, when it comes to your signal phrase, instead of saying according to, maybe you say something more like, it is believed that, and then whatever is believed is what you quote. And then close quotes. So you can see that we have 2 of our pieces, but this resource part is what's missing. This comes at the very end of your sentence in the form of parentheses. Then, if you know the author, give the authors only their last name is necessary. Do not include a date. That is not MLA format. That is APA. If you include a date, I know you are not paying attention to what you're doing. So give either their last name, but if you don't have that, provide the title instead, close parentheses, and then you put your punctuation. That way we know this source, this cite is attached to this quote. Or maybe you summarize or paraphrase here instead. And as we know, if you're summarizing or paraphrasing, you are not quoting, so you just get rid of the punctuation. The formula is still the same. So when it comes to including resources into your essay, pick whether you want to quote, summarize, or paraphrase your information, and then pick whichever formula works best for you. Give us your tag, your signal phrase, and your resource in the sentence, or just give us the signal phrase. Just give us your quote, summary, or paraphrase, and then add the resource at the end. Either way is fine. However, do not do both at the same time. If you say according to the resource, you should not put this at the end. They are separate ways to incorporate this information. Now, there are resources in Blackboard that has some specific examples of how to incorporate this, some examples you can utilize, as well as a document that takes this information and puts it in paragraph form for you to read through. But whatever you do, email me with questions if you are lost or confused. I am here to help.